So today we're really going to focus and talk about digital attribution. This is really becoming a big kind of buzzword in the industry, and everyone's really trying to put a focus on how do we track cost cross channels. So our agenda today is to just quickly discuss what is digital attribution, why does it matter, and the end goal is one practical solution to increase clarity across all channels. A little bit about myself first. Briefly, I'm the Vice President of Business Development here for resortsandlodges.com. Collectively, I've been with the company for about 6 years. In between, I founded a HTML5 mobile app platform called AppClerk, which we actually merged back in with resortsandlodges.com as part of the product set in early 2011. But total in the digital space, I've had 8 years in the digital space, most of it being in the hospitality segment. We've been really fortunate to work with some of the most renowned brands and really the most brilliant minds in sales and hospitality marketing over the last 10 years since we acquired resortsandlodges.com. And we're really fortunate to have you as partners. We really appreciate it. And it really gives us a good knowledge base and understanding of what's going on across North America. What are the challenges we're facing? What are the trends? And we really appreciate the partners that we have. A little bit about Resorts and Lodges and a reminder of the background. We've served over 40 million travelers since 2003. We currently market over 2,400 of the most unique properties around North America. Last year, we influenced over $250 million in direct bookings with properties, and we expect that number is going to be exceeded this year. Just under 10 million visitors in 2012, and over 1 million minutes of call metadata tracked, measured, and analyzed, and we expect that number to grow as well. So we really have a good foundation here to be able to analyze data and provide knowledge and insight. Um, True or false statement, tracking digital is simple. Well, you'd think it would be with all the tools that we have, but the reality is it's not a piece of cake. We know it's very big. Everyone knows digital is big. A lot of dollars are moving online, and it works, but it's still young. Digital is a young space. Rupert Murdoch has had years and years and years to perfect the newspaper business and that side of things. But digital is young. It's new. There's still a lot of things happen. There's still a lot of innovation going on all the time. So we know it works, but there's really a big problem that's emerging, and it's who gets the credit. And why is that important? Well, it's important because we as vendors and publishers, we want to know who gets the credit because we want to find channels that work, and then we want to buy up those channels as much as we can because we all want to scale new customers. And that's what we're all charged with in revenue and marketing. So what is attribution? Well, attribution is assigning credit across multiple touch points throughout the whole booking process. The reality is not all effective digital advertising drives a direct conversion right at that initial visit, even on maybe a second or a third visit. Hotels and resorts and vacation rental companies are actually online, offline businesses. So even though 90% of a property's bookings at some point may touch their property website or come through their website, if you have a property that does 10 million in annual room revenues or online booking or bookings in general, they may still do 60%, 70%, 80% transacting over the phones, while maybe 20, 30, 40% or 6 million offline, 4 million online. So they have to be able to track cross-channel. A little funny story. So this is how I look, or how I think I look while driving, when in reality, this is how my wife probably sees me. Uh, I like keeping things fun and fast paced, and sometimes I don't have time to shave. And I think I look like this guy when in actuality, I probably look like this guy. Well, the e commerce funnel, this is what we wish digital marketing looked like. You buy an ad online, they visit your website, you track a conversion. And some people pitch it this way. Some agencies, some publishing companies, some people pitch it this way. But the reality is this is not what digital marketing looks like. This is more of what it actually looks like. The funnel is very complex. You have general search terms, you have traditional media that drives online, you have vertical sites like a resortsandlodges.com. you have blogs, you have social media, and all of these channels drive awareness. And then they filter down into a research and compare part of the booking process. And they do that in two channels. You have vertical sites, you have review sites, you have brand sites. The research and comparison happens. You also have OTAs, online travel agents. You have meta search sites like a Kayak. You have social channels, word of mouth. And then once people are ready to buy, they come back and they buy through branded search, going direct through branded search, email triggers, direct visits, or they go through branded search and end up at OTAs. They end up bookmarking OTA sites and doing the booking and processing it through the third party that way. So you have direct and you have the third parties that actually take the booking once they're ready. And then what happens is you have really a lot of fragmentation across different devices. People are using laptops, desktops, tablets, and smartphones all to research the same trip. It's a little bit easier to track attribution when it's commission based online, but those are the minority share of the bookings through online travel agents. It's pretty simple. You work a deal with a booking.com, you set up a commission, they take a reservation. Those are easy to track, but those aren't the lion's share of a company's reservations. And most properties that we work with say they'd rather have more of the business coming direct to them because then they don't have to pay out a heavy commission. Those are easier to track. But the majority of share of bookings are happening online and offline across multiple channels, across multiple cost miles. And so those are the ones that attribution is really, really critical to get a handle on and put some modeling around so it's easy to uh, not lose track of which channels are really generating the greatest response. The devices, again, cause fragmentation because the search might start at a desktop, but then the traveler goes home, jumps on their iPad, and eventually jumps on their phone, types in the brand name, and calls the property direct through their local Google search, Google Places information there. So whichever site here that actually generated the interest in the discovery, by the time they get to the actual reservation, there is no way to track that booking, and last click tracking ends up going to organic mobile or branded mobile. So there's no assist in the booking. So this is the channel that we're facing. Now, e-commerce tracking is more accurate than ever. You have conversion tracking, you have multi-channel conversion visualizers. A lot of properties and marketing executives really don't have the time to get into all of this, especially if they're not using an agency, they're handling in-house. Google Analytics really takes a long time to set these goals up and could be very time consuming and very expensive. Assisted conversions within Google Analytics help to show a bigger picture because you can see different channels that people touch throughout the booking process. However, that's only if they're visiting on one device. That doesn't count if they leave that one device and go to other devices and hit multi-channels there. So it's really helping to paint a bigger picture, but it isn't perfect. So what does it all mean? This is a lot of data. It's a lot of information to throw out there. It can get somebody's head spinning a little bit, and it's really important to kind of simplify some of these things and take a more holistic view. So are we hopeless? This guy might be. We're not. We all face the same problem. There's no silver bullet, only a bunch of little Nerf bullets here to help us along the way. The one takeaway from this is one simple, easy, practical application that can be implemented to track attribution across platform and build some modeling off of is to simply place tracking numbers across all paid media. It's something that a lot of companies are doing. It's something that a lot of companies are not doing. So they may be doing it only with one channel. However, they're not doing it with all other channels. So they have no frame of reference to compare one channel to another. They have to make wide assumptions that are really not based on good, solid data. The phone tracking is simple to implement. It's affordable. It can save money on campaigns that are actually not working to push those dollars towards campaigns that are working. And it really provides a lot of clarity. There's some really great companies out there. A lot of our partners use Navis. This is a solution that's getting pretty popular with properties that we see. We own a company, Phonalytics, that powers all of resorts and lodges tracking analytics. If by Phone is a tracking platform. So there's a lot of solutions out there. You simply go to Google, type in call tracking solutions. You'll see a litany of call tracking solutions. You can call one of our reps, and we have something to offer there. Martin Luther King once said, all things are created equal. All men are created equal. Well, that was true. However, all clicks are not created equal. And I think he would agree with that if he was in digital hospitality marketing. All clicks are not created equal. One visit from a very vertical site like the knot.com for a company focused on weddings could be worth 10 clicks from a state level general keyword campaign in Google, Yahoo, or Bing. All clicks are not created equal. That is perhaps a more targeted click further down the funnel. And without cross-channel attribution, really understanding attribution, building some modeling around that, how do you know? How do we know what clicks are created equal? A simple case study that can be seen from the data that we've been able to collect from our partners. This is an advertiser, past advertiser in the Florida Keys. From 2004 to 2009, they ran various programs with resortsandlodges.com, going from gold up to platinum down to gold, and saw anywhere between 20 to 195,000 impressions on an annual campaign, anywhere from 1,700 direct visits to topping out at more than 12,000 direct visitors direct to their website from their partnership in advertising resortsandlodges.com. They actually canceled in 2009 after seeing all of those visitors over the years. And they canceled because they really didn't have a good solid understanding or modeling around attribution. How much booked right on that first visit, and then what was the percentage that would have come back later from those 12,000 people and booked direct at another time. For example, if their website was built correctly and solid enough, had the right calls to action, the right information, beautiful photography, all the things that make a website a compelling sale of their product, if they saw just 1% of those direct visitors return over that time, it would have been an additional, just in 2008 alone, off of 12,000 visits, it would have been an additional 120 reservations. This particular property averaged about $1,000 reservation coming from the site. So you're talking about additional $120,000 in revenue that they did not track and they did not model because they were not using attribution in those models. And that revenue eventually would have gone to another partner in that area. When we actually look at the lead reporting from a call tracking platform, this is our internal tracking, we see that for a similar property over a similar time frame, 9,800 website visits generated $75,000 confirmed phone sales on the first call, with an additional $883,000 quoted out that was able to be tracked. And that does not count anybody returning at a later date booking direct that was untracked. So it just goes to show that not knowing the information in 2007, 2008, 2009, and then leaving the site, whether it's Resorts and Lodges or any other site that you see in your Google Analytics or analytics platforms driving this type of tracking, if you're not driving attribution, you're not putting phone call tracking across all other channels, they had no idea what they were walking away from. And in fact, they had actually made a phenomenal marketing decision year after year. Incidentally, this property came back on this last year with one of our representatives. Are doing very, very well. Another quick case study of a prominent golf resort in the Southeast. They put call tracking across all campaigns, and one thing that they saw was that pay-per-click was really, really effective compared to all other media channels. But since they segmented their call tracking by campaign type and by ad group type, you can see that, in fact, yes, the campaign was performing very well, but branded search was more than 1,100, almost 1,200 of the 1,400 total leads. So they were actually getting very little conversion across their general vacation, spa, meetings, Facebook, rentals, wedding, golf, and just general resort PPC, which caused them to relook at what they were doing and actually go to more vertical approach, try to purchase deeper down the funnel. But the fact is that they took the time to get this into place and give them better data. Again, another way to provide additional information to build some attribution modeling and look at really what's happening across all channels. So at the end of the day, we all just want to make good decisions. Right way, wrong way. We just want to make good, solid decisions. The best way to do that is off data, and then using the data to create solid attribution models that work for your business. So a quick recap. What is attribution? Attribution is simply applying credit across all channels. You may have channels that drive 2, 3, 4, 5,000 visitors a year to you, and you may not track all of the reservations right up front. But building a model to understand that a certain percentage of those people are going to come back, as long as those guests and those visits are an acceptable bounce rate, as long as those visits are visiting multiple pages, spending multiple minutes on your site, you know they're qualified. You know a certain percentage are going to come back. A great rule to have is the rule of one, where 1% of qualified referral traffic equals 1% of actual booked room nights. That's a pretty solid strategy. So if you got a company that's sending you 3% of your traffic, chances are in that month they sent roughly 3% of those room nights for whatever percentage of business touches your website. Why is it important? Attribution is extremely important, extremely critical, because you want to know which channels are working, and you don't want to cancel a channel that is working, and you do want to cancel channels that are not actually working and move that money into things that are working. So it's important to assign that attribution, really come up with those models and make something that's easy for you to understand, easy to work with, and easy to report. And then the third piece, which is implement call tracking across your digital media to provide clarity. Go through the different channels that you have, find a source, whether it be a Navis, our solution for analytics, an if by phone, or another source that you find, and really take a little bit of time to get that implemented into your digital media. Help provide clarity across all channels, see what's really working. And those three things are the agenda. And I hope you took something from this. If you have questions, we have a short poll going on. We have a short survey that's going to happen after this. Appreciate you attending. We hope you attend the next one. If you have further questions beyond, please get in touch with your Resorts and Lodges rep. We'll be happy to walk you through any additional data. And we'll also be posting this into your marketing center, sending out an email so you have access to this video. Look forward to working with you all. Appreciate your time. Have a great afternoon.